Right, we should be going.
Yep, I can see it.
Okay, chaps, I'm delighted to resume my incredible conversation with Mr. John Clarke, and we're just going to get right back into it because we picked up where we left off, rather. We were just talking about John recently moving to his new premises, and I just would like you to take it from there, John. Tell me all about your new facility and indeed how it came about. An incredible story here.
Well, that's when we moved up to. I moved into a new place of abode here, just at the end of last year, and a story behind it, behind how I achieved it to start. It's one of the oldest houses in Belfast, and as I said, it showed you the view of where it is there. So I moved into the house, maybe just at the end of last year. How I came across the house in the first place was, there was a house next door that had been lying empty for over 3 years, or over 8-9 years, and been blocked up. And as I say, through the music, our entertainments and our events and stuff here, I have found that we require, by bringing artists and stuff, and music artists into the community or into the country to play concerts and fight or get involved in fights and stuff, we needed to find accommodation for them. So I came across this big house, or as I say, this big house came across me about 3 years ago. And it was like a Swiss chateau just sitting on the side of the mountain here, and it had been blocked up. And at that stage, we had just put, I think it was about 4 international music acts into the local hotel down the street, which is literally maybe about 500-600 yards down the street there. We had put 5 or 6 music bands into, cost us a lot of money as well. So thinking of the foresight of what we wanted to do in the future, I wanted to find somewhere where we could have our own music artists come and stay with us in a relation, instead on basically in a one-stop shop. They come to play for Rehabilitate Youth Ireland and just stay somewhere here with Rehabilitate Youth Ireland, and then you just connect them with it. So the house in itself here would have been perfect for that. It would have been perfect. We wanted to renovate the house and do the house up as a guest house for the thing. But as I say, it was empty it just appeared it appeared one day out of the blue, out of the scenery, and I just got very much attracted to it. So I jumped in and rapped one of the neighbours' doors, and I asked, who owns the house. I asked a bit of history about the house, and she told me that the house next door to it, the owner had bought the house. They were doing a building project, but the owner's son had occupied the house next door, which is where I am now. So long story short, I went up and rapped the door, and I told the guy that I was interested in the house, the blocked up house, and I was very interested here in talking to his father about getting involved, and told him basically what I wanted to do with it as a guest house for the charity and whatever else. So over a period of, it didn't happen then, but over a period of a couple of years, it was down there, and I don't know. I used to come and visit the place on a regular basis. It was somewhere where I felt connected with my soul, where I was attracted to this place all the time. So I used to come and stand on the balcony and watch the view and taking the view here, and I had a wee smoke of a joint or whatever else here while I was we were progressing, baby steps, but we're getting there. Yeah. But I used to come and stand on it, and I used to say to myself, Jesus, I want this house. I love this house. And introduced a lot of people to the house as well. I told them that house is, look at it, it's mine. It's going to be my house. 3 years later, struck just out of the blue here, I was in contact with the landlord, inquiring about the house next door. Again, just keeping updates, keeping checking in here. Was he ready to sell, or was he ready to move on, or what he was ready to do? Yeah. Contacted him one day, and he said to me, John, I knocked the house down. The house that I wanted, he knocked it down. But he gave me the house that the son was living in. So I'm now living on the site that I visited for 3 years and came and wasted myself into it. I'm now living on the site 3 years later, enjoying that view from the foot of my bed. I can lift my head and watch and see the most amazing views and watch the boats coming in. It's an amazing plot. But what I was able, because the house was knocked down, and that was really the main thing that I wanted. It sort of changed my perception of the place, because it opened me up to a broader way of thinking, and looking at it on a bigger picture. So now the way we have worked it out, instead of renovating that house to give us maybe 6 rooms or 7 rooms, we have now engaged with people from Marbella, and property investors from Marbella, and the social trusts and stuff here in Ireland, and some of the social services and whatever here. And we've decided to move one of our projects, which we were going to do, was a hospitality training facility for people with autism and people with learning difficulties. So what we had planned to do then was put that on a site in North Belfast on the old on the Crumlin Road. But now we have this site. We've now decided here to move the plans and put the hotel training facility on this site now. So we're at architecture stage, and once we get the architect's drawings and stuff done up, we're hoping for about 80 rooms, and that'll give us the ability to start our disability project here, our disability programs off from here, and that'll give us 40 rooms or 80 rooms that we can open and run as an active hotel, and open to the public. But the main business plan behind it is that we would be training the autistic youth in different aspects of hospitality, from catering to the cleaning, to the bar work, anything at all that suits any of the candidates. That's the jobs that the skills that they'll be learning. While they're learning the skills, they stay in the hotel. So they actually sleep in one of the hotel rooms. And we have some amazing stuff there, because there's 3 hotels or 4 hotels, I think, like this in England that we're pairing up with here. One of them being the number 7 hotel in Blackpool. 2 number 7 hotels in Blackpool, and they do the exact same program. So we're teaming up together to launch it here in Ireland, very first of its kind in Ireland here.
Congratulations.
I'm very excited about that.
Congratulations.
And
I think that's a beautiful move. And can you tell us more about the work you will be doing there? Because I know you've alluded it will be both open to the public and to the charities, but also, is that right to the parents of the or autistic children?
Yeah, but what we found there as well is that there's a lot of there's a lot of grants and stuff here, and it's not the reason why we've done it, but there's a lot of stuff here that people do get a lot of respite, maybe financial aid here towards respite and stuff, and finding respite. I have friends who, this is probably heard this first, and I saw a fact here, I'm standing looking at you, and I remember the very first time I actually thought about this whole program, the disability. My friend Sean Marty, who was one of our trustees on the charity a few years ago, has a couple of disabled kids, and it's from global learning delay to autism. The kids don't sleep at nights, and they have places here where they don't sleep. The parents are wrecked. For a parent to get respite in our country, I don't know whether it's the same in the UK, but in Ireland anyway, it's a form of foster care. So if I had a disabled child and I wanted to enter into respite, I would have to introduce my child with learning difficulties to a family that it doesn't know, and get into a system where it will have to build up a trust factor for that child to actually go and stay there overnight in a stranger's home. And I was like going, Jesus Christ, there's no way. And I know my friends' kids, I know them. And I know that there's no way that would ever happen.
No.
So it excludes them out. But we looked at it here in the sense that the kids get very excited about going to their wee clubs. And they get very excited about going to disability after schools and stuff. And we come up with the idea, if the disability after school was to have like a teddy bear's picnic sleepover, would the child stay? Absolutely. Absolutely, the child would stay. In a club environment, in a group environment, where it's not on a single one-to-one here, where it has to go and stay in a strange house, in an environment here where you could bring and create an indoor camping area, or you can create different scenes or create different themes towards staying overnight. You would encourage here maybe the ability to give 40 people respite in one night on a mass scale, and enjoying it. It just snowballed from there. It's something here that we've looked into, and we can guarantee that we have ticked the boxes. We've solved the problems here that we would need to make that happen. Once we have a youth club available there that the young people can go to, that the hotel here could be used then for the parents to go, and while their child's getting respite in an environment where it's nice and it's healthy and it's happy and it's in its club environment and it's doing something that it enjoys, so can the parents. The parents can come stay here, use their grants or whatever else, enjoy the scenery, kick their feet up, just take a bit of a break, and enjoy exactly what respite's meant to be. It's meant to be for the mummy and the daddy, for the soul. That's what it's there for. So that's where this part of the project all come up. But it also gives me now somewhere to put all my offices for all my charities, all my businesses that we have built up, way through the music, the mixed martial arts and everything else. We will be keeping our A-list acts here in the hotel. So the kids here could be sharing hotel accommodation with Adele. They could be sharing accommodation here with Rihanna, with anybody who comes in the Ireland to play at any one of the concerts.
John,
in Ireland.
I wanted to move on to that you've spoken, and thank you very eloquently about your charity. Moving on to some of these, because you have got your fingers in a lot of pies beautifully, but they're all integrated and interconnected. As you say, indeed, we'll talk about the music, but those autistic children and their parents will benefit from this. But can you talk about the music and the connections you've made in that industry before maybe touching upon the exciting plans and developments you've got within something that's close to my sort of past, but like the more MMA and fighting features, please?
Right, well, okay. Well, we decided that right from the very start that's the way we wanted to make money, was through community interaction, and music was the biggest part of it. So we looked at things that were already cross community in nature without people really realizing. So music concerts, MMA events, sporting events, football, it's all normally a cross community area. On levels, maybe not so much football because it has its different parochialisms and stuff here. But music is basically where we wanted to be. I come up with the idea in 2014 with not any contacts in the music industry at all. And it was just a dream in my head. It was just a dream. And I was put in contact with some friends in Dublin. I met some friends in Dublin here at this stage and explained them about my charity and about what I wanted to do and like-minded people from, criminal backgrounds and pasts and stuff here, just like ourselves, that have been involved and stuff growing up. But like-minded in the sense where we have to change things now. And when the minute I mentioned music, they said to me, "You need to talk to Dave Bell." I said, "Dave Bell? Who's Dave Bell?" I said, "My mate." So the phone Dave Bell, and Dave Bell came around like he was in the Austin Minutes. And he says, "Dave, do you know anything about music?" He says, "Do you not?" He says, he's been 40 years in the music industry. Okay. They were the very first, Dave Bell was the very first person ever to bring a PA system into the country. He drove over an untaxed fan into England and picked it up, big story behind it. And, but this wee group, Dave Bell's mates, about 4 or 5 of them, together here and starting off in the music industry, had then, get really involved in it, but on different levels, had broke up and moved about. Dave's friend, Paddy Freeney, went on to own Little Lane Studios, music studios in Dublin, and production house. Production house handles all the backline, all the PAs and the systems here for all the concerts for either people like Dennis Desmond, Peter Regan, and Dennis Desmond runs Live Nations Ireland. He's the president of Live Nations Ireland here. He was second to come on to John Reid, then as it's Live Nations UK, is the president here of Live Nations UK. He's the main man of music and the whole of the UK, Mr. Music. So That's Dave Bell's brother-in-law. Dave Bell's other brother-in-law here is the guy who flies all the stars around the world here, which is Glenn Duckworth here, who owns ET Travel. So I just found myself in the middle of like the top names in the music industry, and at the blink of an eye, on a chance conversation. And that's exactly where I am. We're working directly hand in hand with them, and we're now just we're pushing ourselves off here this year. Well, we were planning to push ourselves off this year until Corona came, but our intentions are to move in on a big scale. So the music end of things here, we'll be covering. We'll be doing work here with Live Nations. We'll be doing work here with live acts, the A-lists, and the A-list acts right across the board. But we'll also be using our S75 Events, which is our company here for the music productions, to bolster our MMA productions.
Right.
So
tell me about those.
So the same thing happened. I wanted to get involved in the sporting industries and stuff like that as well. I got a telephone call from the guy, the very first gym that we opened up was Olympus Gym, Michael Obey, I talked about earlier on. I got a phone call there last year from Michael Obey. He says, "Me, John, the guy wants to meet you." I says, "Wants to meet me? Well, what can I do for him?" He says, "He's looking at gym." I says, "Right, okay, well, so we'll have a talk and we'll see what we were talking, So the guy came to me anyway, and we sat down and had a spoke, and the guy's called Ian Dixon. So Ian Dixon here came to me from Cage Gladiators, from the Cage Gladiator brand. And the Cage Gladiator brand starts off in Philippines. Okay, so it's Cage Gladiators Philippines, which is one of the biggest MMA companies over in in Asia at the moment here, and they work directly with One Championship and stuff like that. So massive productions over there, but not the massive productions. In Philippines don't have a great deal of disposable income, so there's not a great deal of money in the background of it. But what they do is the Kids Gladiators is a not-for-profit organization, and the profits that they gain from that, they put into opening facilities, whether it's restaurants, food, bars. They open things here that can give people jobs, and so the money goes back into the system, goes back into the community. They can employ fighters' wives, fighters' sisters, families, mothers, fathers, brothers. That's the way it's basically that it's looking out. So put in contact with Emmons. We came together, we talked, we created Cage Gladiators Ireland. So Rehabilitate Youth Ireland and Cage Gladiators Philippines basically came together and created Cage Gladiators Ireland. Cage Gladiators Ireland was basically the first outpost outside the Philippines for Cage Gladiators. The Rehabilitate Youth Ireland is a 25% shareholder in Cage Gladiators. We also started based on looking towards how do we create fighting scenes or maybe our own wee tournament. So we started bouncing ideas across to bring the Filipinos in and fighting the Irish and the Filipinos here, and just on a couple of up and coming fights and stuff here. But it just snowballed and progressed. We end up creating the International Fighting Championships. Okay, that's right. So the International Fighting Championships is now it's the holding company now for, I think it's about 12 Cage Gladiators, International Cage Gladiators companies. So we are now represented in Morocco. We have a Cage Gladiators Morocco. We have a Cage Gladiators Philippines. We've now emerged. So basically, the IFC own Cage Gladiators Philippines, Morocco, Ireland, Italy, Spain. We've got outposts in Brazil. We're talking to the Argentinians. We're Mexico. We've got Mexico. We've got a company and Rehabilitate Youth is a 25% shareholder in every single one of them companies. So 25% of the profits from every company or every country is going to feed back to Cage Gladiators or go feed back to Rehabilitate Youth. But what we decided to do then was, instead of feeding it back to Rehab Youth Ireland, then why not take the 25% out of every country and store it in the country? So why not create a Rehabilitate Youth Morocco, that goes along with Kids Gladiators Morocco, and we can keep the funds that come from that country in that country, and I can now progressively say that I'm going to be able to give programs, projects out to the youth in at least 14 to maybe 15 countries.
That's
The way
wonderful.
it stands here now.
Wonderful job.
So the charity has expanded. It's blown up beyond recognition. We're just about to hit the nail on the head here, and as explained to you earlier on, we've got some really, really exciting stuff. Law of attraction. Everything comes to me that he asked for. If you ask for it in the right manner, it comes. I've now to fly out to London. I got a phone call 3 months ago from the Philippines, from our director and the owner, the guy who created the whole Kids Gladiators. He's an ex-British soldier, but he's from Ireland. He's from Cork in Ireland, and his name's Lawrence Canavan. And may have just that as well. Ian Dixon, my director here, my partner here, the CEO of Kids Gladiators Ireland, is an ex-British soldier from Ireland. You know, I'm an ex. I'm not even going to say what I am, but I was on the other end of the stick with them from these boys, and I class these people as my brothers now. I've met guys like these all around the world, and we're right same thinking people. We're on the same page. We're on the right journey. We're all been brought together. So Ian, Lawrence Canavan phoned me. He was trying desperately to get a hold of me a couple of months ago, and he couldn't get me because the Philippines are 6 or 8 hours ahead of us, and the signal over there shit. So we were bouncing back and forth, a couple of missed calls and whatever else, but we finally got it. Lawrence contacted me and said to me, John, a friend of his had just flew back into the Philippines to speak to Lawrence directly a couple of months ago. And the guy is the owner of a hedge fund. He's the manager of a hedge fund. It's a massive hedge fund here. And I think it's the same kind of hedge funds that are running the money behind Tyson Fury and Conor McGregor's and stuff for the world at the minute, and putting on the big events. So they contacted our Kids Gladiators Philippines, believing that the Philippines was still a standalone company now, you know, not knowing that it had expanded around the world. And they made an offer of $5 million to Kids Gladiators Philippines for 15 international events that they can put on pay-per-view. And if that works, and it's happy that they would then further put another 150 million in on top of that.
It's big
at
numbers,
a later date.
Exciting time.
Numbers. Exciting times. So Lawrence then put the guy here who's in control of that door here, the guy called Aidan Bishop, and Aidan has now, we've been speaking directly together. We've been doing our business together. I have to fly out to London here in the next coming weeks after the coronavirus eventually fucks off and leaves us all alone. but we can get over there and tie up the loose ends. All our stuff's going to be projected over a platform called the YOSAT, which is like a Netflix platform.
What was that, John? What was it called?
A YOSAT, AYOZAT, a YOSAT. It's like a Netflix streaming platform.
Yeah.
Okay, but a YOSAT is they are digitally locked into every Skybox, free food box right around the world. Amazon Prime, Sky, everything. So they've now taken over the whole control of all the Sky Sports channels here, and the CEO is now one of my closest friends. Me and Umish, but we talk away here on a very good level now here. Great crack. Absolutely sound guy. Ex-British soldier. I'm probably going to get myself burnt out up here. But everybody coming together it's amazing that they're all like-minded. So we're going to be, our MMA fights are going to be international. They're going to be pay-per-view. They're going to be streamed over Sky.
Yeah.
They're going to be reaching out to touch 1 million people. They're going to be supplying and funding a charity. Plus, 675 events, 875 events is going to give the added oomph to it and bring live music called MMA. So, which is, MMA doesn't exist outside the world of MMA. We're going to put on a massive show. So we're working with Live Nations and them guys to give them a platform to give exposure. So I'm able now to give a platform to Live Nations for them to give exposure to any up and coming new bands anywhere in the world by putting them on a stage at any one of my MMA events, anywhere. around the world. So we're very excited about it. It's going to be a massive. It's going to be a massive thing here, and everybody's just, you know, it's just wait and see. You'll be the first to know what goes on after that. But
And honestly, what this, and thank you for sharing that, but what this really highlights, one of the things it really brings home to me, quite powerfully actually, is the power of collaboration. And I say that to say this: for so long, I isolated myself, and for a long time, that was prudent. The people I was around, you had to be careful. It was a security thing, if you like. But even when I've mixed with more positive people, my pride has got in the way. However, since speaking to people like you and some other really good people, I have been thrilled to discover the power of helpful collaboration. Can you just talk a little bit about this, John, with the time we've got remaining? How collaboration has helped you for the better?
well, what I found, just very quickly at the end, to give an analysis of the way I work and the way I progress myself and project myself. Okay, every single thing that I've needed in life, I have a set of skills that I need. I needed people in the music industry. I needed people in the MMA industry. I needed people professionals, right? I didn't have no connection to any of these kind of characters. I had nothing, right? What I actually found, that every single thing that I've ever needed has came to me looking help. Every single person that have is now involved in my collaborations came to me initially looking help. Whether it was Kids Gladiators coming to me looking for a gym in Ireland, or it was Dave Bell looking to get brought back in through a chance meeting with friends. Now Dave Bell missed his life. He worked for everybody else. Now in the music industry, now Dave Bell has now got a company. He's the CEO of Section 75 Events. Now he's now on a par with his brother-in-laws right around the world now, ready to put on his own concerts and ready to put on his own music. And that's a sense of where I could have lost everything that came to me free help. And if I had took the decision that I couldn't have helped that person, I would never get the added benefit that comes with it. So if I had that person, if I could say is, you will always, the universe will always send you what you need. It may not come to you the way that you expect it. Nobody's going to come to you and say, here, John, I was sent to you to give you this. They'll come to you and they'll ask you for something. They'll test you for what your abilities are, and your kind of heart is always look positive in someone. That's where your key is. If you can help someone, you can ask possibly find, and I'm an affection to the rule. I can show you that the minute I've agreed to help someone, I've found that person, that was a person that wasn't there for my help. That person was there to help me. They just didn't know it yet. And what I was able to do then was take the likes of Ian Dixon out of the want to open a gym in Ireland and say, no, well, why not move things on to creating tournaments and fights and bringing fighters in and bringing an ability here to create funds rather than start off at the bottom here and create gyms. So I was able to change what he had planned and what he had his mindset. But he came to me for his mindset, and I agreed to help him. But the minute we talked, I realized that there's more to what we're going to do together. The collaboration end of it, when we came together, look at me, with now, we own Kids Gladiators Philippines. We own everything. I want to say we own collectively. You know, I've given the guys in the Philippines a new avenue that opened into the world, and it all came through somebody coming looking for help. If I had to say no to Michael Opie on that day and say, Michael, I haven't got the time, or I can't help a month with a gym, I would never have been where I am right now, and right this one. Same with music, same with everything. And collaboration is now that I'm able to, every single thing that I'm doing now collaborates with the other. MMA gives me the ability to put on some fantastic, and I've got world international. We're connected till the end. We're connected till UFC fighters. This is we're not talking about low level stuff. We're talking about top level fighters from right around the world, like UFC, you know, coming out of disgruntled, you know, lives and moving into this life here. We're going to give every fighter an opportunity to progress and fight and earn money and put on shows and do what he's meant to do.
John, it's
By
incredible.
doing that, the music and adding the music to it, that gives us, because MMA and events, it's a production.
Yes.
Everything starts off as a production. So you've got the fighters. Ian Dixon doesn't know anything about production. Ian Dixon, I do know about production now because I've been involved in it in the background here for this last couple of years. But, you know, Ian Dixon don't know how to put on productions. Dave Bell knows how to put on productions. So now I'm in a position where one of the first questions that was asked to me by the hedge fund, the guys in control of the hedge fund, was, John, what makes you think that you could put on international shows around the world? You know, what makes you think you could do it? I said, well, I know I can do it because here's Dave Bell. Dave Bell and John Reid, Dennis Desmond, Peter Regan, we can do whatever we want. These guys have been putting on their shows for the last 40 years. So we've showed immediately that we're on the top level bracket. How can we fly people into the country? Because I've got it. Glenn Duckworth owns ET Travel. There's not a Premier football team that flies into the country that doesn't book for ET. All the music acts, all the world tours, everything goes through Glenn Duckworth. He brings in £120 million a year, you know, at his businesses. These guys at the top level. And I was able to collaborate them all together to put on what I wanted and what I needed in the future, to make funds.
John,
so we've got a money to do it.
time,
and a hotel to keep them all here. So we're good.
Honestly, John, the time's beating us, I'm afraid. So I want to wrap this one up and we're going to continue. But I wanted to thank you so much for your time and that help people first. I think it's a beautiful way to end this talk. Thank you for your time, brother. It has been a true pleasure to talk to you again, and we will continue this.
Yes, 100%. I would also invite you to talk to the likes of Dave Bell and Ian Dixon and Lawrence Canavan here directly then, because them men have an amazing story to tell, especially Lawrence Canavan over in the Philippines at the minute. Absolutely fantastic guys. But I'll put them in touch with you.
Thank you again, John. Thank you.
All right, Mama.